Are you guys ever so hungry that you feel like you're gonna vomit, but then like you don't want to eat because you feel like you're gonna vomit? That's how I feel right now. I'm cooking taquitos right now, but you can probably hear them because my microwave is so loud. I am exhausted right now, like beyond exhausted, so I can't even tell what direction this video is gonna go in. We're just gonna talk today. This is gonna be another rambly video. I filmed this video the other day. I know I say that a lot, like I film videos and then I refilm them all the fucking time. Because I filmed this video and I rewatched it, like I was editing it and I was like, that's fucking awful. So to start off this video, we're gonna play a clip from the other video because it's not really something I can recreate, but let me show you. Where the fuck did I put it? Are you kidding me? Okay, so I bought this shirt from Goodwill. Oh wait, I guess I should probably show you everything I bought from Goodwill. No, I'm too lazy. I get out of breath when I walk to my bedroom, so like, I'm just gonna skip that part. We're just gonna show you 2 out of the 4 things. I'll describe the rest to you. Actually, I'll put the clip in. I'll just use the clips from the other video. That's the mood that I'm in. Like to the point where like, I'm just gonna borrow clips from her. Okay, so first of all, I bought this shirt. I mean, why wouldn't you buy this? This was $3.49. I just feel like if you see this, you have to buy it. So this says, nothing beats fishing except for being a grandpa. I've made it in the world. I also bought another t-shirt. Okay, I bought 2 t-shirts and 2 jackets. There are so many wasps outside. I always want to sit out on my balcony. Like I just feel like it'd be like a cool thing to do, you know, like, you know, make a cup of coffee in the morning, go sit on my balcony, chill, you know, and I can't do that because there are 400 wasps and I'm too big of a pussy to sit outside with them. I mean, it doesn't make me a pussy really because they fly into the window all the fucking time. Like they're trying to get inside. Like they're planning something to get inside of my apartment. I know it. I know they are. Okay, so anyways, so I bought one shirt, which I'm not gonna show you because I don't even know where it is, honestly. It's somewhere just buried in my bedroom. Also, I was gonna show you my apartment today, but like, I don't wanna clean my room and I don't wanna make my bed, so I'm trying to be honest with you guys. So I got one shirt and it basically, it says Homicide Squad on it. So when I first saw the shirt, I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like, it's for Homicide Squad. And I'm super into like detective and police shit. And so I was like, this is an awesome shirt. And so then I kept reading and there's like a picture of a guy, like a dead guy on it with like caution tape around him. And then underneath that it says, our day starts when yours ends. This shirt looked so innocent when I first saw it. I thought it was cool because it was like a police shirt, like for Homicide Squad. And then that, I bought it. I fucking bought it. Okay, but I bought this shirt. You know what? Roll the clip. Roll the clip, Court. Okay, and then I got this shirt just for like the purpose of doing what I'm about to do. So that, I mean, it just has got milk. So I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna do some art on it really quick. I need something to write on. All right. I need to concentrate on this though, so like give me a second. This is a lot lamer than I thought it was gonna be. In my head, this was a lot cooler. So here's the joke. I crossed out milk and I wrote cjades. That's the whole thing. I think I just ruined the shirt. So yeah, I wrote, got cjades on a shirt. That was the whole thing. I mean, I wear it in the next video. You guys are gonna see that. And so I couldn't just ignore the fact that I created that. You know what, and I'm proud of this. This isn't one of the things that went horribly wrong in that video. It was just the rest of the video that was just horribly wrong. Oh boy, where do I begin? I have not gotten decent sleep in 3 days. 3 days. And I sleep all the fucking time. So this is just coming down really hard on me right now. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's almost 12. And I woke up at 10, like around 10:30. And I was like, I could keep sleeping. And I would love myself if I kept sleeping. Like that, I would want nothing more in this world than to keep sleeping. But I knew that I had to film a video. I know I have to edit videos. And so I got myself the fuck up. I did my makeup. And here we are, eating taquitos and drinking Diet Coke and talking about fucking nothing. I wanted to tell you guys a funny story. So this is gonna be like Unfortunate Boy Story Part 2, but not nearly as dramatic or nearly as long as the first one. I mean, I say that now, but like God only knows that if I start telling this story, it's probably gonna be a 30-minute video. To start off the story, I have to talk about Tinder for a second because I haven't uploaded a Tinder video in a while. And there's a very good reason for that because I've actually been using Tinder. Yeah. When I first got to Texas, I've been here for a month now. That's how you know how long it's been since I've uploaded a Tinder video because I've already lived here for over a month and I have not filmed one. Like I haven't even started to film one. So when I got here, me and my friends wanted to go out, like go out to the bars and the clubs and just find fun places to go on the weekends. And so we were going out one night and my friends were like, hey, you should match with some guys on Tinder who go to college out here and ask them where cool bars are. So I was like, genius, but my Tinder was still my Halloween profile. So I was like, I have to change my Tinder to good pictures of myself so that I can find cute guys, so that I can find good bars. So I changed my Tinder profile and I don't even want to show you guys because it is like just pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. It is a normal Tinder profile, good pictures of myself. Actually, I kept in Willy Wonka and I kept in the chicken. I still left a little bit of me in it, you know, like a little bit of me, but at the same time, the rest of the pictures are just selfies. So now here's my problem. I don't know how to transition from having a normal Tinder with normal matches because I matched with guys. I matched with these guys and we talked, like not for a video, like we talked. How do I transition from having a normal Tinder where I talk to these people to then going back to my fucking weirdo self theme Tinder, and these boys are gonna be like, what the fuck? I discovered like yesterday that I could make a new Tinder profile account, which I'm probably gonna do like today. But I was like, this is so awkward. These people are gonna be like, what the fuck happened? And like my main reason for not wanting to change it back is because there's a boy. I call him my Tinder boyfriend, but are you even surprised by that? So I matched with this guy on Tinder, and I'm not kidding, he is so fucking cute. My friends think he's a pussy. I think he's really cute. And so I matched with this guy. I think I messaged him on Halloween and I asked him if he was going out that night. I was like, are there any cool parties? Like, have you heard of anything? Because I literally had just moved here, so I was like, I want to go out tonight, it's Halloween. But he had work in the morning, blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna like recap my entire conversation because it was like a serious girl boy interaction. We continued the conversation the next day, and we were talking about like actual things, like we were like, what do you do for a living, and that kind of stuff, like getting to know each other. And so I thought this could potentially be a really nice guy. He's really cute, he cares about what I do for a living. Actually, I don't even think he replied when I said what I did for a living. So I thought this could potentially be a really nice guy. We're having a decent conversation. He's not boring me to death, which like everyone does. It was a great day or two conversation. It was fucking awesome. It was the greatest Tinder boyfriend I've ever had. What was the point in replaying that? I sent my friend a streak this morning of like my eye, and he replayed it. I'm like, what is the significance? What the fuck are you gonna see again that you didn't? So okay, I got kind of excited because I thought like, I just got to Texas and I've already met this cute boy, and I was so excited. I was like, I'm gonna go out to a club with him and it's gonna be so much fun. No. And then he texts me a couple days later and says, we should totally hook up. Which I get, that's like the whole thing on Tinder. Like Tinder is made for hooking up. I mean, not entirely, but like for the most part, people are on there to find people to hook up with. But I was like, excuse me? I thought we had a relationship. We talked for a day and a half and I thought it was going strong. This is all you want from me? I was also kind of sad too because he was really, really cute and he was a complete douche. So I replied to him because usually I wouldn't reply to something like that. Usually I would just be like, okay, fuck you, like you're annoying, and I would just ignore them, never respond to them again. But I loved him, so I replied. So I said something along the lines of like, that's a pretty bold statement to make to somebody that you've never met before. I was like, you don't even know if I'm real. This is a Tinder profile. He didn't ask for any social media. Like this man does not know if I'm a real person. And so I was like, you don't know if I'm real. And he's like, would you do that to me? And I was like, if I was a catfish on Tinder, I'd be doing that to everybody. I mean, it's not just directed at you. So basically the conversation goes on and I told him, I was like, I'm not into it, like no thank you. And he goes, well, that's not what I meant. I was like, if you're asking me if I want you to come over, hook up with me, and then leave, then no. And he was like, cause he asked me at one point, he goes, so would you? And I was like, would I what? I was like, if you're asking me if I would let you come to my house or I would drive to you to hook up and then both of us, you know, just like depart? No. And he goes, that's not what I meant. I was like, you texted me and said, we should totally hook up. What the fuck else would that mean? And he asked me, because I told him I didn't have time because I really didn't. And this was like right before I went to Arizona. So I had so much stuff to get done. And he goes, you don't have an hour? An hour. I was like, excuse me? Did you just ask me if I can spare an hour of my time this week? Boys are weird. Boys are so fucking weird. Boys are weird. The worst part is too, I got really drunk one night and I totally texted him. I was like, what are you doing? Like I so badly like wanted this guy to come to the bar that I was at. See, Courtney, that's how you summarize a story in like 10 minutes. That was only 10 minutes of your time. Probably gonna be shorter when I edit it, but like, just fucking tell the story. You don't need to go on these rants or these rambles. It's not that hard. And now I can tell you guys more stories as I'm chewing with my fucking, I'm sorry. I also have a couple stories from Arizona. Not necessarily stories from Arizona, but stories like about my transition, my traveling to Arizona. There's probably a way better way to say that. I don't know English. I swear half the time I don't know how to speak English. Like I don't know what my first language is, but it's not that. So for starters, on my way to Arizona, because I went to Arizona for Thanksgiving, if you guys didn't know that, which I don't know why you would, but like I went to Arizona for Thanksgiving. So on my way to Arizona, I almost missed my flight. I have absolutely terrible anxiety when it comes to timing. So when I got to the airport, I think I had 30 minutes to get to my flight before it was boarding. And I was just like, I've already accepted my fate. Like I was like, I'm going to miss my flight. So when I got there, first of all, the checkout line was so fucking long, which it's never long. Like I've never spent more than 3 seconds in a check-in line, like to give them your bag and they just fucking take it and you dip. But this line probably took 15 minutes. I just cut my time in half. And so I go inside and I see the security line and I was like, I'm missing my flight. So this man comes up to me, this man that works there, and he goes, do you want to skip the line? And I was like, yes. And he was like, okay, all you need to do is sign up for this one thing. And I was like, okay, like, Like, I don't know about that. But he was like, no, it's free this time. That was the catch. He's like, but it'll get you to the front of the line. And I was like, honestly, my flight board's in 10 minutes. So if you can make me skip this fucking line, I will do anything. So he takes me over to this machine and he basically like takes all my fingerprints, scans my motherfucking eyes, like all of this shit, puts me into this database. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing with my information, but as long as I don't miss my flight, I don't fucking care. And so he inputs me into this thing. I think it's kind of like pre-check, but it's a little bit different, like where you would go to the airport basically every time and they would just like scan your fingerprints and then they'd be like, you're good to go. So I did this thing, he signed me up for it, it took like a minute, and then he put me to the front of the line, so I just had to go through security. So I literally got to my gate with like 2 minutes to spare. To make it worse, I also forgot headphones. Like I brought headphones, but I forgot to bring the little dongle thing that like plugs it into your phone because Apple's fucking stupid. So I sat on the flight for 3 hours in silence. And not even silence. You know when you sit next to somebody and like they just feel obligated to talk to you? Yeah, that's the shit that I had. Like this guy was like making jokes and stuff. He was funny, but like I don't like people, so I just was like, can we not do this right now? I literally played like a card game on my phone and like did nothing else. I wanted to die. So then I went to Arizona and I spent Thanksgiving with my family and it was amazing. And then as I was coming home, of course, this kind of stuff always happens to me. So I was standing at my gate and I wasn't late this time. I was like 20 minutes early this time, which is already, like that's a little bit too much for me. I'm the kind of person, I'm like, if I have 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes at a gate, awesome, great. Like you don't need any more time than that. I hate the people who think you have to be at the airport an hour and a half early to 2 hours early. My camera's gonna stop recording. Even when I'm sitting at my gate for like 10 to 15 minutes, it's awful. It's so fucking boring. And especially when you're flying by yourself, dear God. So I was standing at my gate and this man comes up to me and he's just like this older man. He was probably like 40s or 50s and he's drunk as fuck. I don't know if it's a thing to get drunk at the airport before you get on your plane. If it is, I've never heard about it. I know they sell drinks on the airplane, like you can buy a beer or you can get wine. I'm pretty sure you can get shots on a plane, which like I'm all for. But getting drunk before you get on the plane, I don't know. So this man comes up to me and he's like slurring his words and he's swaying all around. And keep in mind, I was so exhausted. All I wanted to do was be home. It's like 10 o'clock at night because I had a really late flight. Oh no, it was like 7. It was 7 o'clock at night, but I was still I had a late flight, okay? I didn't get ready that day. I was sitting there with my hair in like a shitty French braid that was just like completely falling out. I was wearing my friend's merch, like for his Roblox channel. I had a giant fucking backpack on, like I had slippers on. I was not in the mood. So this man comes up to me with the thickest country accent. He goes, you a cheerleader? And I was like, no. There are some occasions where it's okay to talk to a random person or like it's not a big deal. Like when I was going to Arizona, actually, this cute little old couple was talking to me because I was wearing leggings that had like mesh cutouts in them and they were asking me where I got them because they had a daughter who was around my age and whatever. Actually, that was shocking to me because I always get that I look 16, 17, maybe 18 max. Like I told this one guy at a club that I was 22 and he was like, no, you're not. And I was like, no, like I really am. And he was like, no, you're not. Like I literally showed this kid my ID and he was like, it's fake. And I was like, it's not. He messaged me the next day because I gave him my Snapchat. But he messaged me the next day and he was like, so you're really 22? And I was like, yes. Who continues that joke for that long? And who chooses 22? That's a stupid age. What was I saying? Fuck. Oh yeah, but this old couple, they were like, oh yeah, our niece or daughter, I can't remember if it was their daughter or their niece. They're like, she's 21. They're like, you're 21, right? And I was like, thank you. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for thinking that I'm 21. I was like, I'm 22, but bless your souls. So I was talking to them for a while, talking about like my trip to Arizona, and they were so cute and so sweet, and I loved them. But then this man, no. He comes up to me, asks me if I'm a cheerleader, and I'm like, no. And so he kind of just like sways and like bobs his head and like turns to the side, and like 30 seconds later, he looks back and he's like, my niece. I think he had the niece and they had the daughter. Pretty sure that's how it went. So he says, my niece. And then he's like looking me up and down. And I think he just realized that like, if he's gonna compare me to his niece, that he probably shouldn't be looking at me the way that he is. So he's like, my niece is a cheerleader. And I was like, wow. And so then he was like, yeah, she's a real skinny, like, I was just like, please stop talking to me. Please stop talking to me. And so he says I'm skinny, and then he goes, oh, your shirt looks like a cheer team. I'm wearing my friend's merch. I'm wearing a Roblox t-shirt. And I was like, nope, furthest thing from a cheer team. And so he kind of just like, oh, sorry. And then he kind of just walks away because I think he realized that like this conversation is just really uncomfortable for the both of us, at least very uncomfortable for me. And so then that thought comes into my head that like I could potentially sit next to this man on this plane. Like out of the hundreds of seats that there are, I'm going to sit next to this man just because it's me. I think I just spit everywhere. So then I start panicking and I was like, oh my god, because I was like, I don't even know what to do. Like I can't sit next to this man. If I sit next to this man for 2 hours, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I fly Southwest and they don't have assigned seating, so you basically just get on the plane and sit wherever the fuck you want. So then I started going over different plans in my head and I was like, well, I want a window seat because I like sleeping on the window because it's better than bobbing your head into the aisle. But I was like, what are the chances that there are going to be any window seats with people already sitting in the aisle? Because this was my thought process. So I thought if you sit in a row where there's already 2 people, he can't sit next to you. Like he doesn't even have a choice anymore. So I was like, I'll just take the aisle seat. I was like, that's fine. I really want a window seat, but I'll take the aisle seat. So I'll go down and I'll find an aisle seat, you know, where there's already 2 people. But then I started thinking, well, what are the fucking chances that 2 random people are just gonna automatically take the middle seat and the window seat? Nobody takes the middle seat. Nobody fucking likes the middle seat. And so then I was like, well, maybe there's a nice couple who wanted to like sit next to each other. So I was like, okay, good plan. And then I started thinking, if I sit in the aisle seat, there's no way I'm falling asleep. And I really need to sleep on this flight because I'm so tired. I don't want to be awake for these 2 hours. So I was like, okay, let's go to the back of the plane, the very back of the plane, and let's sit in like the very last row and sit by the window because nobody chooses to sit in the back row. But then I was like, well, if nobody chooses to sit in the back row, what if this man is like the last person on the plane and then just by default he has to sit next to me in this back seat? So I was like, okay, so let's just take the first row that's empty and let's take the window seat. People are probably gonna sit next to me because it's a decent row, it's further ahead. So I was like, yeah, I'll just sit there and I'll just hope that 2 people sit next to me. And I was like, what if nobody does? What if nobody sits next to me? What if there are only groups of 3 left and I'm in this seat and I'm just fucked now? I was panicking in my head for the longest time. Like I literally was going over every scenario possible in my head. I ended up sitting in a window seat by myself, not by myself. I sat in a window seat in my own row and then 2 nice lovely ladies sat right next to me. But I was like, wow, that was a lot of drama in my head for about 2 seconds for just fucking nothing. I thought I had another story. I think I wrote down things because I have a horrible memory. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. Okay, I almost forgot to tell you guys. And then on my way back to Texas, on my flight, the flight where I, was panicking the whole time, I had a fucking kid sitting behind me who was drawing and like just fucking shaking the shit out of my seat. So like nothing was happening at the beginning of the flight. And then I noticed like a little bit later that my seat would just randomly kind of like vibrate a little, not vibrate, but like, like it would shake. So I could see the reflection of the tray table in the window. So I could see that this kid was drawing. He would be drawing something and he would erase every 10 seconds. And like when he would erase, he would erase. He would be trying to erase fucking everything away and he would shake the shit out of his tray table, which would shake the shit out of my chair. And then he would wipe it off with like all the force in the world. And so this kid, the entire fucking time, is drawing this picture and I can see what he's doing. Like I can see the picture and like it wasn't that impressive. Like you don't need to be doing any of this. I wanted to tell him like, please stop. But I also felt bad because he's trying to entertain himself. He's coloring a picture. He's doing his thing. So I let it happen. And then I get off the plane and these kids are screaming and yelling and oh my god, I wanted to be like, that was it. That was my last story, I'm pretty sure. I mean, nothing else exciting has really happened in my life. That's pretty much it. As exciting as those stories are. I didn't even eat my taquitos. I literally made the taquitos before I started filming. Been filming for about 35 minutes now. I'm gonna eat my taquitos, probably fall back asleep, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. I don't understand how like a single person could be so exhausted. I'm so fucking tired.